Daily Cycles here with an update on the S&P on October the 18th. So we have a difficult situation right now this coming week, and let's see if I can find some information from my cycles which way it should go. So if you want to know my view on the bigger picture, you should check out the video from last weekend, but just a short recap here. The 3.5-year cycle is bearish into around next summer. I'm expecting some kind of a B, C move going down into next summer, with a target around the tariff panics low from April. And as you see, the 3.5-year cycle going down. We are currently extending this bull market, but it should soon be over. But it should probably, it's not quite over yet, because we are in this very strong trend. And if we look at some indicators like here we have the number of trading days staying above the 50-day simple moving average. Again and again we have, during this recent rally since April, we have seen some extreme numbers on this rally, and we had extreme numbers on the 20-day moving average early in the first early part, and then on the 35-day moving average. Then we finally broke that one too, but now we still have not broken the 50-day moving average. So that should be the next thing that should happen. And being this long above the 50-day moving average, that has, in 70 years, that has only happened 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, once every 10 years. So this is the most bullish situation, well, actually since 2011. So the thing is, when we have this very strong trend, that often happens in the beginning of a bull market. And as I have shown here with vertical lines, it can happen at the end of a bull market. However, the first break of the 50-day moving average has previously here has not been the real breakdown. So the first break of the 50-day moving average will be bought, and we will get some kind of a double top. Call it a double top. It could be a lower top, a higher top, but some kind of a sideways move before the really bearish part begins. So keep that in mind going forward here. Could go further to, let's see, where is it? Yeah, we have the 17-week cycle. So we had a 17-week cycle low in April, and then we hardly saw any low here in the summer. I was looking for a pullback, I was looking for a top, but it never materialized. And that can happen in very strong trends like here early 2024. There was a cycle low, but you hardly could see any pullback here. Anyway, we are now approaching the next cycle top, and we are starting to see weakness. So could we be breaking down from here? I have this projection here I showed you last weekend, suggesting we are in the area where we could top out, where we could turn down, and this projection, or what you want to call it, suggests a low around mid-December. So yeah, I'm seeing some weakness here. Some correction is coming, but short term we could easily squeeze right back up and make a small double top or a slightly higher top. But we should correct into a low here in November, December. But that will probably not, be the real breakdown, because this trend it's a strong trend, breaking records almost. So probably after this low in November, December, we will rally with the next cycle. You see here, I haven't it's not in the diagram, but you know, it goes up into January, February. So it's likely we will call it a double top here. And I have you know, I have these analogs where the bull market extends after a big correction or a false breakdown. I have these two short analogs that suggest we could just crash down from here. That's not my scenario. You know, it is possible, but yeah, something really has to happen. We have to quickly start crashing here, so I'm not expecting that. Also, I have this dotted scenario here from 1980, which has some crazy upside coming here. The blow-off top that many are talking about. That is neither the scenario I'm looking at, but I'm keeping it here. It could happen. It's not impossible that we do something crazy like this. But I'm rather looking at these two from 2014 and 1965. And you know, I have tried. These are aligned from the price low, but it's not necessary. That is not necessarily the right way to compare these from the exact price low. You know, here I have aligned them slightly different, comparing with 1965. You know, this might as well be a more correct comparison of these two analogs, possible analogs. You know, yeah, we could squeeze back to make a double top and then crash down. That's very possible. Anyway, my main scenario, although, is, you know, if we get this correction and a low in November, December, I don't, well, unless we have crashed really bad, you know, but I'm not expecting that. So a correction and then another top early 2026, and then the real bearish trend begins into the summer. So, but there's a difficult situation. Here I have the wavelets from VIX and the S&P, and they have been a bit out of sync lately. So the VIX wavelet is now starting to give bullish signals. That is strange. So the S&P, you know, I have marked with vertical lines the 10-week oscillation lows. The next 10-week oscillation low is expected some 3-4 weeks away from now, shown also with this triangle. And I think we have, you know, a possible analog here. We are making now a lower shoulder, and we should start breaking down. You know, we could also squeeze up here as well, as I showed you. So 10-week oscillation low, 10-week oscillation low, and the next one expected somewhere over here. And as you see, my 4-week cycle is now really turning bearish this coming week. So here I'm comparing these 3 10-week oscillations, and you know, at this point there are some similarities. Over here we had this in the initial pullback, but then we squeezed all the way back up again, and it all ended up with a sideways consolidation before the next oscillation began. And exactly the same thing happened here. First a scary pullback, but then we squeezed all the way back, and it all ended up as a sideways thing. But now you see, we are at this point, we are below this trend line, and we are below the moving average here. And you know, should we just squeeze back up again as before, or you know, my scenario is, I think we'll do something like this: A, B, C into December, rally up into January here somewhere, and then down in the spring. So I'm just guessing here. I'm not confident, but my cycle here says that's the likely thing. We should make a shoulder here and continue down this coming week. Yeah.